just talking about the print business, New York Times. That's because Sam Tannenhouse, editor of the New York Times Book Review and the New York Times Week in Review, is with us. Sam?
Hey, we're still staying in business.
Absolutely.
We're clinging.
We have to stay in business.
We're not going down yet.
We have to stay in business. Week in Review.
We'll do it. We can review a few interesting things. We were talking about the president in Ghana. It's a funny thing going on with Barack Obama. If you're the president of an African nation, you think, all right, our guy is there. But he is a little cool toward them. You know, the technocratic side comes out. So all the deals they're hoping to cut may not happen so easily. Also, Russia and China are kind of looking at Africa, so it becomes part of the old geopolitical strategic game. Another thing we're doing is Bruce Weber at the Times wrote a really great book about umpires. And as we approach the Sotomayor hearings, he's going to look at this idea of judges as umpires. Great. The fact is, umpires are totally biased. They change the rules all the time. It was John Roberts who introduced this idea that, you know, the justice calls balls and strikes. Yeah, but the strike zone changes all the time. So he's going to do a little riff on that. It'll be kind of fun.
Did you see in the New York Times today the Judge Sotomayor hearings? Guess who's testifying for her? David Cohn.
Yeah, there's a the witness list is very long and very strange.
That's right, because she was the judge during the strike, and he was the big representative. Yeah. It's fun. You know, we had a great story in the paper today by Michael Powell. Well, this is the story you're talking about. She is like pure New York. This lady.
She is.
Grew up
really
here. You know, tells the clerks take the subway, not the taxi. You know, got to learn how to do the salsa. It's great.
Yeah. Hey, now, does it seem as though it was politically easier for President George W. Bush to open his heart to Africa, as he did, in terms of AIDS funding and all that, compared to Obama, who may feel people are going to think I'm tilting this way and I'm going to lean too heavily on this?
It's that classic sort of, you know, 5-cushion bank shot thing that you think that the guy who looks like he should have it easiest actually has so many levels of constituencies he's got to appeal to that he can't act in so natural a way. Also, the other thing we forget about George Bush, the one thing he was always praised for by the left as well as the right, was how he handled Africa. And in a way, he kind of set the bar high for Obama.
He didn't go there until his second term, though. It took him 5 or 6 years to get
remember the AIDS money and all the rest.
No,
He didn't get it.
That's a great
and with Barack, who even lived there for a while, there's a slight stiffness. Very interesting to see.
You know, we were talking earlier about Sarah Palin, and Adam Nagorny has a piece coming up in the Week in Review on the future of the Republican Party.
Yeah, what he's going to do is look at comebacks. You know, if you look at the GOP right now, it looks like it's the worst shape it's ever been. I know these guys are getting senators getting knocked off one by one. Sarah Palin goes off the reservation, or maybe on the reservation, whatever she's doing. But turn the clock back, 1964, 65, Republicans looked deader than they are now. 1966, they win 40 seats in the House, destroy LBJ's working majority. 1968, they put their guy in the White House. Why? Because a lot of it has to do not with how strong the Moon Party, the small party, is the minority party, but what kind of screw-ups the majority party is making, because that's how the yin-yang in our politics works. Obama's having trouble with the economy. We talked about this with the stimulus package. Health care looks very difficult right now. So a few turns of the wheel, if the Republicans find some faces, that's what they don't really have. You always need the leader.
I'm sure Republicans, when they get their hands on Adam Nagorny's instructions on how to save the party, they're going to
follow it to the letter.
When they get that New York Times memo on here's how to save the Republican Party, they're going to frame it, and they're going to do it beat by beat. They're going to go right through it.
We call it the blueprint.
They have two faces. They have two faces for the future. Two faces for the future of the Republican Party. John Enson's mother and father. There you go. They have enough money to hand out.
The parents of the year. Mike, you knew my father.
Yes,
Can you imagine me the day I have to go to my father and say, Dad, the mistress, and I think she's going to need about $100 grand. I don't know what the first words would be, but they would come after a physical assault like you have never seen.
Well, things are meaning to family values.
Sam Tannenhouse, thanks very much, as always.